Hang on.
Let's see
Wait.
if this is.
Put that on. I gotta get the link out now. Let's try this again.
See if anyone actually.
I'm gonna look and see if anything. Oh, good. Something's happening. Don't speak. Let me go back to this one. Let me go to Patreon. Guys, this is so great. So love it. I love it.
This is good television.
It is. This is the mystery, figuring out what is happening.
What a twist.
And then I have to, I gotta, well, I'll figure that out later. Oh, wait, no.
Just
go back.
It. Send a message to patrons.
Here we go. Here we go. It's happening. Okay. Mystery competitor AMA right now. I hope this works.
How humanizing.
10 or more. Let's do it right now. Publish now. And go.
Sweet.
Let's see. Maybe someone's already on the
Is
new
anyone
one.
here?
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Is it working? Okay, we're going to get to you now. Let's see.
What a twist. Looks like we're on a bit of a delay.
Nope. Here we go. It is a bit of delay, but that's okay. You can start answering questions now that it has worked.
It's Bibbs.
Hi. Go like this. So you can kind of see
Okay, I can.
happening.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Everybody, we had a technical problem, and it was, I don't know if it was my fault, but I was the one who didn't notice that it was a problem for too long. So my bad. Sorry about that. Growl, growl, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming out on this Friday the 13th. I know you're all super stoked for Collider Collision. I know I am. And I have a bunch of questions that were submitted in advance, so I'm supposed to answer those first. But when I'm done, we can answer any other questions anyone has. So in the interest of time, let's just get started, shall we? Let's see what we got here. Who are these people? Josh asked, how would you plan to stop Kalinowski and help Sam Witwer keep his belt? I don't care. It's Star Wars belt, man. They can do whatever they want with that thing. It'll never be mine. It'll never be mine. I think the good question is, how are we going to stop Kalinowski? It's really uncomfortable here. The environment is weird. Nobody knows anything. Everyone has plans, and then everything just goes completely like topsy-turvy, and it's going to be real interesting to see how the collision goes down, because man, there's an X factor in every single moment. Let's see what we got here. What TV show, movie, or song do you think best conveys your personality? The answer is Mystery Science Theater 3000. It was incredibly important to me at a formative time in my life. Not only did it introduce me to a whole bunch of old and cult cinema, it also really informed my sense of humor, and also it was just really informative about cinema in general. A lot of the old episodes were like primers in how movies worked. So yeah, I'm a huge fan. Like a lot of interviews with people from Mystery Science 3000. That's one of the big treats of my whole career. Would you consider demanding that Another One Bites the Dust be played as your exit song after your next victory? Sure. I don't know. It's not really me. I could do like a Queen-themed intro. I'd love to do like a Flash Gordon bit. That'd be kind of cool. So maybe. Courtney asks, who do you think is the most underrated competitor in the Schmodown, and why? And the answer to that is, well, it's twofold. One, it's Stacey Howard, who I think has been low-key one of the best players in a while, and people tend to underestimate her. She does the research. She's only gotten better and smarter and more informed as the game has gone on. And on top of that, she always goes all out in the theatricality, and you know me, I give bonus points for that. The other answer to that is I'm really looking forward to seeing what my partner Whitney Seibold can do in singles. I can't wait. Someone has already asked, when's he going to make a singles debut? Not soon enough. Of course, for me, not soon enough would be he would have done it already. already. So hopefully soon. I keep hearing rumblings, but I don't know any more than you do. Andy asks, if it's Riley, I would like to know how he feels about Sunday going up against the Shirewolves, possibly alongside Dan. If it's Riley, he should be very worried because the Shirewolves are tough as nails. If it's Dan Morrill, would you have accepted Roka's invitation if it weren't for Guy? No. Anyone else, what type of job would you see yourself doing if you couldn't do something film-related? And the answer to that question is I would like to write mysteries. I've always wanted to. I like writing. I don't have the time to write a novel, but I would love to. That's my fantasy. That's my dream. Jeremiah asks, are there any other gimmick matches that you'd like to see in the Schmodown? Yes, there are. And I've pitched a lot of them to Christian. A lot. There was one he was going to do, and then another show kind of stole it. I wanted to do a cage match where everyone's in cages and we're only asking questions about Nicolas Cage, but another show ended up doing that. I have an idea, and I don't want to tell you exactly what it is because I want it to be a bit of a surprise, and I still think I can pull it off. I have an idea for a Halloween special. You're probably thinking, oh, I know what that's probably going to be. No, you don't. It would be really fun. But last year was really busy. They had a whole bunch of competitions going on at the same time. Christian was having a kid. It was just too much to add to the plate. I'm hoping we can do it this year. So Poco, tell Christian he should do my Halloween special idea. Billy asks, thoughts on the Five Horsemen? Good for them for getting Dan. Let's see what we got here. Any chance of a Jason Voorhees surprise appearance? Yes. If you could create a category for the wheel, what would it be? We have Oscars. I would love to see the Razzies. I think it's only fair. I mean, maybe not focus so much on the awards themselves, but a category dedicated to the most notoriously bad movies ever made, I think would really challenge a lot of people. A lot of people will say, oh, why should I have to study movies that came out before I was born or movies for kids? You should study all movies, and that includes bad movies. And I would love to see a category dedicated to bad movies. I think that would be really interesting. And then the last of these advanced ones, what's the best match you've competed in and spectated? Well, the best match I've competed in was the Mark Andreyko match. I think that's pretty obvious. Only one question was missed the entire time. And it was really cool being there because there's this moment where you're just like, is this happening? Am I pitching a no-hitter? The downside is that it threw a shadow over both me and Andreyko's careers. And we're both only now kind of catching up to that and finding our way. And it set too high a standard. So it was great to be there, but there was a downside to it. The best match I've spectated, you're going to see that today. There's a good match today. There's the whole collision's awesome. I was there for all but one of the things for it. It's going to be really great. A lot of people are making predictions. You guys have no idea what's in store. It's a really good show, and there's something really cool. There's a couple of really cool things, but one of my favorite things is in Collision, and I can't wait for y'all to see it. I can't wait for the reaction videos. There's going to be some cool stuff. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I wish I could go into more details. Let's see. No spoilers. It's going to be a good one. It's just going to be a good one. Let's answer some live questions while we have the time. How did you obtain the Sword of Crushing? I didn't. A future version of me obtained the Sword of Crushing after everyone in the Schmodown had died. So I don't have all the information. What I do know is that after I defeated Snyder, that future no longer exists. But that does mean the Sword of Crushing is out there somewhere. Makes you think. How long did it take to shoot the What Could Have Been entrance? A while. I had it down to kind of a science. It took probably maybe 3 times as long as it takes to watch it as it did to shoot it. We did it all in one take. Everyone's very professional. I loved watching the end of the match when Finstock or whoever the hell he is was saying, what was that entrance? It took forever. It really messed with our game. Yeah. That was intentional. That was 100% intentional. I absolutely have discovered that the more you can mess with the process, the more you can really get people out of a groove, and it really worked really well. Don't tell anybody. It's a great secret. Let's see. How did I feel to break Snyder? Pretty good, but I also felt kind of bad. I didn't want to like break his spirit. Like I didn't mind like beating him in the game, but like yeah, it was sort of just like, that you okay? You okay, buddy? You okay? It was a rough day for everybody. What was the movie that made you fall in love with cinema? That's a good question. For me, it was I was home from school one day. I think I was sick, and my mom rented. It was a 1, 2, 3 Punch, and this is like 3rd grade. Citizen Kane, Mrs. Miniver, and Strangers on a Train. Those are classic movies, very different films. And I completely adored everything that they were doing. And I realized that cinema was so much bigger and more interesting and more fascinating than the cartoons I was watching. That's no slight on those cartoons, but they were a very narrow view of what cinema could be. And yeah, it really just expanded my horizons, and there was no going back after that. I knew I had to do something with it. Let's see, when are we going to see Whitney in singles? Already answered, hopefully soon, I don't know. What's the dumbest thing you have done to cause an injury to yourself? I tripped over an open dishwasher and fell on my elbow like this. And so this actually has a permanent dent in it. That was very stupid. Although I did have a jar of pickles in my hand, and I didn't drop the pickles. And I was very proud of that. Your Clue entrance is possibly the best Showdown entrance of all time. Thank you. How many alternate versions did you write before going with the 3 you used? Quite a few, actually. And in fact, I've been working on that intro for a while. Like I was going to do it like a bunch of times, and then there just weren't enough like dramatic moments in the Schmodown. I really wanted to play with people's expectations of the story. So every time there was a new story wrinkle, it changed. There was an earlier version where it would have been the announcement of all the horsemen. But then they announced all the horsemen, so I had to come up with a new rendition of that. Also, here's something I haven't told anyone. Sam Levine was supposed to be in it, and he unfortunately, I think he was sick that day. He's fine now. But yeah, he was supposed to show up for that challenge. We were actually going to sit down and like start the match for a second, and it was going to be really funny, but just didn't work out, and that's a shame. He almost never turns down your entrance ideas. Is there anything about that was too crazy for Christian to approve? Oh God, the answer to that is yes. I wish I could remember what it was. I've come up with a bunch that were just like crazy special effects, or there wasn't enough space in the studio. I'm almost out of time. Let me see if I can do a couple really, really, really fast.
One last one.
Okay, I'm trying to think if I can find a fun one. What do we got here? If the budget allowed, what would be the intro you'd most want to do? Huge musical number. Huge. I would like the stage to break away, and then it's actually like the whole stage, and then we like open up, like there's like a big door, like they like move shipping in, like for for big sets and everything like that. We'd open that door, and then the camera would expand, and there'd be people outside, like in the streets. Yeah, it would be really, 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 really great. I would love that. That's my fantasy. Oh, real fast, because this is actually really relevant. Okay. On February 17th, you tweeted you witnessed a crazy scene backstage at the Schmodown that we may never know about.
Oh, we're going to know about it.
You are going to know about it. It was going to be a secret. It was possibly going to be a secret forever. I'm glad you're on Patreon, because...
And these are the $10 patrons.
And the $10 patrons are... You know what? You're going to see it. I can't tell you what it is yet, but you're going to see it. And it was really cool. So everybody, thank you so much. Enjoy the collision. I know I did. And yeah, if you're going to do reaction videos, get ready, because it's going to be really crazy. So thank you, everybody. Growl, growl.